Welcome to the Calling Conversations, the show where we sit down with inspirational leaders and ask them the questions we all want answered. So why are we doing the Calling podcast? Because there's never been a better time to live and lead in Scotland. We see extraordinary talent, endless opportunities, and a growing belief that leadership and influence are key to unlocking the greatness within every industry and, most importantly, every individual. We're thrilled to be hosting Scotland's biggest leadership event in October the 2nd, 2026, an event for anyone who wants to grow, lead, and make a real difference. Between now and then, this podcast is our warm-up. Each month, we'll meet leaders who inspire us, challenge us, and show us what's possible when purpose meets passion. People helping shape a better Scotland and a better world. My name's Peter Vardy. I'm a leader still learning, still growing, and deeply passionate about the potential we have here in Scotland. Thanks for joining the journey. Let's get started. So Peter Vardy is a visionary entrepreneur and philanthropist whose leadership journey began when he was just 16, working in his father's small car dealership in the northeast of England. He went on to transform that family business into Reg Vardy plc, a nationwide automotive group with over 100 dealerships and 6,000 staff, before selling it in 2006. Since then, Sir Peter has focused his energy on giving back through amazing initiatives through the Vardy Foundation. For over 30 years, he's supported education, rehabilitation, community projects in the UK and beyond, helping millions of people across the world. There's been great initiatives like Safe Families for Children, which has done well in the UK. And for all that work in business and community, he was knighted in 2001, which I happened to be there for. To see him transform lives and give opportunities to people in business has been incredible. So I'm really pleased that we get some time to get his wisdom, ask him some questions, learn from his journey how we can apply these lessons to our lives and influence people better than ever before. Welcome, Sir Peter Vardy. So, Dad, Sir Peter, chairman of my group as well. It's really a pleasure to welcome you to the podcast. It's going to be great to ask you some stories today about your journey, your hopes for Scotland as well, and some lessons for leadership for people of all ages and stages. What can we do to do the best and achieve the best that we can possibly be? So just to take you back to some of the story. School wasn't your favourite thing?
No, I didn't do well at school. It was a bad experience for me. The problem was literacy. Right. I got off to a bad start and I never caught up. That's as simple as that.
Right, okay.
So I couldn't wait to leave.
Yeah.
I left at 16 with 1 O-level in music, right, and joined my father, who had a Ford dealership in a mining village in Houghtonleigh Spring. And since I was 16, I couldn't drive, so I worked in the workshops and the panel beater and paint spraying, mechanic, served the petrol, washed the cars, swept the floors, did everything really, because there was only 6 of us in the whole company. So I had to do everything. But it grounded me in all the basics of what a car dealership is.
So I know what it's like to have your dad as your boss. How was your dad as your boss?
Well, he's extremely hardworking.
Right, okay.
I mean, he'd started off with a hand cart and a horse and cart and built a haulage business. Uh-huh. So he knew what hard work was, and he knew about getting up early and going to bed late. And he was a tremendous influence on me and I believe the whole of our family in developing a strong work ethic. Yep. So we knew what work was, and we weren't worried about it. But he had a stroke when I was quite young, so he didn't really get involved in the business after that, and left it to me and my 2 brothers. My older brother looked after the haulage business, and my younger brother joined me in the car business, and we developed from there.
You didn't always see eye to eye on some of the decisions about what you sold and what you bought, though?
No. I mean, my father was very patient with me.
I'm thinking about the part exchange you took in and got the whole thing wrong.
He was very patient with me in some of the stuff I bought, because I bought some wild and wacky cars, and he just kept his counsel until one day I sold the car that he had, which was an old Bentley, and took in a part exchange Bentley, which he rang from holiday, and I said, Dad, I've sold you a car. Oh, that's great. And I've taken another Bentley and part. Oh, that's lovely. I'll be able to ride around in that if I want to have a ride. And I said, no, I don't think you'll ride around in this one. and when he came back from holiday, I saw the colour drain from his face as he pulled on the forecourt, because it was an open top Bentley.
In Sunderland.
In Sunderland.
Perfect.
It was an unusual car. But I mean, in those days, I'd paid £600 for it,
right.
and I'd sold his car for £1,250. Now there's £200 profit in the car I'd sold, which was a lot of money.
Yeah.
But he told me just to put it around the back and set fire to it, because I would never in a million years sell it.
Uh-huh.
And I said, look, there is a customer for everything. I just have to find the customer. Mm-hmm. And fortunately, a guy came, bought the car, paid very good money for it. And my father never challenged anything I bought after that.
I was going to say, from then, was it a bit of a different story from there?
Yeah, because there's somebody for everything. You just have to find the buyer.
Yeah.
Now you have to get the price right as well. So there's a few conditions there. But I believed that I could find the customers. And that's really what set me off, because after that I thought, well, I might as well sell nice cars. Because we had a Ford dealership in Houghtonleigh Spring, which was the right franchise, because it was a mining village. Everybody bought Fords or Vauxhalls or Rovers. But I thought, why couldn't we sell something really nice? Mm-hmm. And it's a long story, but the car I fancied was an Aston Martin. So we eventually ended up with the Aston Martin franchise, Ferrari franchise, Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Lotus. And it was like, Aladdin's cave, in a mining village. And of course, everybody said, you can't sell those. But I specialised really in finding ways to make cars affordable.
Right.
And making cars affordable was always our slogan. And whether it was a family car, a Ford, a Vauxhall, or Rover, or whatever, or an Aston Martin. And I came up with a leasing deal with Aston Martin, where they were paying 75% tax at the time. I got 100% tax relief for buyers of Aston Martins. Mm-hmm. Well, of course,
everybody wanted one.
If you didn't know what an Aston Martin was, it was a good idea to buy one because of the tax relief. So I was the top Aston Martin dealer in the world for the next 4 years.
From Sunderland, yeah.
From Sunderland, yeah. Oh. So, and it's what we've done all our lives. Can we make cars affordable to the folks that want to buy them?
So we skip quite quickly through the journey. You went from one dealership, which was your dad's, to 106,000 people. Obviously, we'll touch into some leadership lessons along the way. And all of that journey, because you didn't just do the car bit, you obviously did a lot with the foundation, which is why you're knighted. You're knighted by the Queen for?
Well, it was education and business in the northeast of England.
Yeah, so paint a picture. The business was doing cars all over the country, all over the UK. The education thing, what did that look like?
Well, in 1989, 88, Margaret Thatcher wanted to build some schools that are outside the local authority control.
Yeah.
They saw that as a real issue, trying to deal with the public sector, managing the education. So she wanted to set up some centres of excellence, really. And she got business people to sponsor them.
Yeah.
So the business people, which I was fortunate to be one of them, married up with the education team to say, right, let's look at this differently. How can we improve education across England?
Yeah.
And she wanted centres of excellence across the country, so that it spurred the local authorities on to think differently, perform better, reach higher standards. Yeah. And what's happened has been incredible. I mean, Tony Blair came, opened the second school we had, and he pushed the idea of these schools as well and made them city academies. And education across England has improved significantly as a result of those schools.
So how many schools and young people were you looking after in that project?
We had 5 schools, and there's now 7. So there's 7,000 or 8,000 children.
Yeah.
But they were built in areas of high or very high deprivation. So it gave the children from those areas the best possible chance. Yes. And it was fantastically successful.
So in terms of your career, are they the two big chunks of things you've done?
I think so, because the schools affected so much of what we're involved with. And, you know, when you run a company and you have 6,000 people and you're the boss, everybody thinks they're working to make the boss richer. So, you know, I wasn't interested in the wealth. I was interested in what could we do with the wealth.
Right, okay.
And these opportunities came. I mean, lots of other opportunities came as well. But for the 6,000 colleagues, they were seeing that they were working, they were creating money, and then we were using the money to invest in different things. And they all got excited about that. You know, there was a purpose to what we were doing.
Yeah.
So there was lots of things like that gave a real impetus to the group to think that we were doing something significant.
How did your leadership develop, or who helped you, or who influenced you as you went from a guy that ran a small team of 6 to a team that had 6,000? Because that's, I mean, it's obvious to say it's a poles apart.
Well, it was, but it was natural progression. You know, I was selling all the cars myself. And then I realised if I want to sell a lot more cars, I'm going to have somebody to help me. Yeah. So in 1981, 82, I thought we'd better have another couple of salesmen. And I recruited a couple of salesmen, and, you know, one ended up being the marketing director and one ended up being a regional director because they stayed with me for the length of the journey. And so it was just natural. We all grew together. Right. And we need to bring in people who cover our weaknesses. Now, I could sell, I could design an advert, I could do all of that sort of thing, but I wasn't an accountant and I wasn't lots of things. I only had one O-level, so I didn't have an awful lot of credibility. So I needed to bring people in whose strength covered my weakness. Yeah. You know, we need to trust each other, be kind to each other, rely on each other, and you need that relationship to be strong in order to govern, manage, run whatever you're running.
Yeah. Well, one of the things you did, I remember you doing along those lines of running things really well, was values cards and values. I know there's a lot been written about it since, but I can remember being kind of really new, having a values statement and purpose statement. And to honestly, Dad, I think a lot of now is people put them on the wall. And because you have to do it, really. But where did you see the value in all of that? Was it right the way through?
Well, when I had 6 people and I saw them from dawn till dusk, I didn't need a values card because we were living out the values day by day.
Yeah.
But as the company grew, it was more and more difficult to meet everybody all the time and make sure the values were instilled in everyone. So we had induction, as everybody has induction. Yeah. So when everybody came in, we went through all the values of the business, and the responsibility that they had was to live by the values. So the easiest thing to do, well, it wasn't easy, it was quite difficult actually to write it all down, was to develop a values card that everybody got when they joined the company and everybody carried with them every day they came to work.
Yeah.
So, I'll give you one.
One prepared earlier. Yeah, it's the same.
That's it. So I've still got some.
Still got it. So I do remember this, and I do remember people carrying around, and I do remember people being proud of it, actually, which is quite incredible.
Well, we asked them to live by these values, and if they're ever asked by a manager to do something that was against these values, then
it's quite
don't be doing this. But passion. We really, have to have a passion injection, for the company and everything else. Respect, professionalism, integrity. Integrity is important in a car business because we're saddled with the Arthur Daly, sheepskin jacket.
Which you never had?
No, I never had.
Good checking.
Never had one of those. But the industry had that image, and it's professionalised over the last 40-odd years.
Massively now, isn't it?
So it is a real recognition, opportunities. A growing company like that starts with one dealership and goes to 100. There's lots of opportunities. Yeah. So everybody can come and join and be doing something different.
Yeah.
Quite often they came to work and I said, "We've just bought another dealership. You're now working in Reading."
That's fantastic. One thing I'm intrigued at when businesses get bigger, particularly when the founder is an expert at the beginning, and I've just read lots of stories about this, how difficult it is when a company gets bigger to stay relevant and to listen to what the customer wants. And we're told all the time now to look at big data and all that, but you miss the kind of small data, which I think is common sense, of actually hearing what the customer's saying, make sure you're relevant. How did you manage to grow the company yet keep it true to actually making cars affordable and make sure it was doing that? Because that's not easy when it gets bigger.
No, I mean, that was the task of how do you get round and speak to our own people, the team, and meet the customers. And, that was very important, that I didn't have a head office job. I was out in the field all the time. And we got round the dealerships. I mean, it was a bit of a struggle. And when you had 100, it was a bigger struggle all the time. But we organised it by region, really. And so we'd set off early morning, get to as many dealerships as we could, sometimes stay overnight, get to more. I even tried to buy a plane.
I tried to get a test drive, but...
so they said, if we're going to buy any more, I said, I can't get around them, so we need an airplane. So we tried an airplane for 3 days, free demonstration, and that didn't work.
You couldn't get it.
But so...
You did go around the dealerships on Saturday. I remember going around the dealerships on Saturday morning and setting off at the crack of dawn.
Yeah, we set off at the crack of dawn and go to a different region. We go to the west of Scotland, the east of Scotland, the Midlands, the south.
Oh, I remember. We went to Banbury once, which from Sunderland was quite a drive on a Saturday morning. So you made me drive you there, only because it was dark when I got up. Obviously, you didn't realise the suit that you'd not put on correctly, because we got out the other end and you realised you were in a different suit top to suit trousers. And I was in the right one, so you made me take my jacket off. So I was the same as you go around the dealerships, as if it was a summer's day.
We couldn't look that different. So,
but it was a lot of fun going there, and people like to see you around the dealerships on a Saturday. You could have done the secret boss, could you? It wouldn't have quite worked.
No. But we saw the team. But we saw the customers, and we're relevant to see what, I was doing the advertising, and we're in the dealerships the following day to see the door get knocked off the hinges and customers rush in and buy. And that's what motivates me and motivates the team. Can we have successful advertising? I mean, the 3 things that we ran were people, stock, and marketing. It's the only 3 things I ever talked about. People, stock, and marketing. Can we get the people right? And the people are right when you're relevant to them and you're meeting them and they know who's leading the team. If they don't see who's leading the team, then with Costa or whatever, and you're just a franchise. But we were a family. We were a family of 6,000 people, so I had lots of relatives, lots of hangers-on. But it had to feel like a family business. And it could only be a family if you kept seeing each other.
One of the benefits you got from that, actually, which I remember, maybe you want to talk into it, is about the working together thing you did. Because when you engaged the people like a family, I think they quite surprised you one time when you were talking about trying to get their ideas.
Well, I just felt with 6,000 pairs of hands, I had 6,000 brains. Could we engage the brain power of every member of the team? So I came up with this idea of working together. So there was 2 elements. There was a passion for profit. How do you make the business more profitable? And a war on waste. How do you cut out the waste that goes on? And the people that can see the waste are the 6,000 people. You don't see it from your ivory tower in the office. So everybody could contribute to the welfare of the company. And they could have their say, and they could have their reward. So it's...
There is a way of staying relevant in even big companies,
there is, but you need to stay close to the people. And, I mean, I wrote to everybody every Saturday night, so everybody got a letter every Saturday night with the scores and who'd done well. I didn't list who'd done badly. They knew they'd done badly if they weren't
need reminded.
At the top of the list. And it was just motivation like that kept the company interesting.
One thing that's also fascinating about what you've done is what you have done with the funds that you've created through the business. And you talked about making it a PLC. So you floated the company, gave all the colleagues in the business shares, so people did very well out of the success of the business if they're employees. And there's lots of great stories about that because I know some people that did well. I remember that. But there was also a lot of the business that you put into a foundation you started as well. So when the company got sold, the foundation also earned a lot of money. So two quite big selfless things that you did. The work with the foundation, though, what has been the success in that? And how have you, sounds like a strange question, how did you give well for those that are giving and trying to be responsible for what they have? How did you give well? What was the priority in giving, and what worked to give to things to see things flourish?
Well, I gave the shares to the foundation when we floated the company.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what I was going to do with it, but we'd had a small family trust. I've got 4 brothers and sisters, so there's 5 of us.
Yeah.
And we each contributed some of our monthly wages into the trust. Mm-hmm. Now, it wasn't very big, but at least it started us off in giving to other folks.
Yeah.
So that was something my father started. But obviously, when we floated the company and there was millions involved, then we set up the Vardy Foundation. So all of the dividends, my dividends and everything, went into the foundation. Yeah. So the wealth of and I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but the first thing I was asked to do was build a school.
Yeah.
And I thought, dear me, build a school? No, that's beyond me. But you think these opportunities come, and do we all say no all the time? Let's say yes to opportunities and work things out.
Yeah.
So I believe this was a God-given opportunity for me, that we could influence the lives of young people for the best, from areas of high and very high deprivation, to give them the best possible start in life.
Yeah.
But we don't get a second opportunity to teach each child. Mm-hmm. You don't get a second opportunity to affect their future lives, living, whatever's ahead. So you have to make sure that you've got the best possible people. And it's more important in a school than it is in a car dealership.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So taking that responsibility as we did very strongly, we had to
see the schools do well.
See it do well.
Another thing is the foundation did as well. You involved in numerous different things because the business did well over time. It's been amazing what we've been able to do, whether it's building schools in Africa, hydroelectric projects in Zambia, and all sorts of things. But a lot of it is supporting local charities, local enterprise. If I couldn't find anybody that was doing it, we started it ourselves. Yeah.
Safe Families for Children. There are 120,000 children in care at the moment, facing very bleak futures. There's 18,000 children in care living out of area, costing anything up to £1 million a year each. So there's lots of things being done. So it's trying to support folks that are doing the same sort of thing. And when we talk to other people, I said, if you're interested in doing anything, find out what excites you or find out what makes you angry and do something about it.
Has that pretty much been the mantra of what you've got involved in because of those feelings? Yeah. With the foundational business,
That's it.
Yeah.
And so if someone makes you angry, it's not always just looking at it all the time. Get involved and do something about it. And there's a lot of entrepreneurial people in Scotland that would have a go at something if they were given the chance or given the opportunity to come and help.
Yeah.
What's
your view on Scotland? Because we're doing this podcast and we've got the calling event on the 2nd of October 2026 when we are really excited about getting leaders of all stages and backgrounds together to really inspire them, equip them and to hear some inspirational stories. What's your view on Scotland at the minute? Because we're looking through a lens of it being full of talent, full of opportunity and leadership being a key ingredient to elicit that.
There are lots of inspirational business leaders.
Yeah.
There are a lot of young people coming that need help. I came up 25 years ago and saw the entrepreneurial exchange, which was the business people, the successful business people getting together to help the next generation.
Yeah.
And I went back and started the Entrepreneurs Forum in the northeast of England.
Yeah.
We've got 400 members there now.
Quickfire questions. If I was asked you to choose a theme song for your career or your company or your life, what would it be?
Well, the song we sang, or the song we played at presentations, was "What have you done today to make you feel proud?" And there was so much in that, in personal ambition, company ambition, charity work, and things like that, that it encapsulated a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And it was a very good song.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot to be proud about as well.
There was.
That was great. You'd be pleased that Sunderland's doing well at the minute, having been a sponsor of Sunderland for so long?
Sunderland are doing well.
Yeah, I thought you'd be pleased with that.
Isn't it great? We sponsored them when they were in the Premier League, when Kevin Phillips was top scorer.
That's right.
Niall Quinn was there. And when we sold the company, the sponsorship stopped and they went down into the Championship and then into League One. And
whilst your name, I don't know how you feel about this, while your name was on the Scotland top, Scotland never lost to England. You know, that's a quiz fact that might come out. Scotland never lost to England when it's sponsored by their name.
That's important.
It's clear, isn't it? Yeah. Why did you make the decision to sell it? I mean, it was a public company, I know that.
Well, it was a public company, so you can't say no. When somebody comes with an offer, you have to talk to them.
Okay.
It can often be no, and obviously at the beginning it was no.
Yeah.
But it got up to, I mean, we floated at 90 pence.
Yeah.
The bid eventually ended up at £9.
Wow.
So you think, that's an awful lot of money.
Yeah.
Folks have made a great return. All of the colleagues within the company were going to benefit greatly.
Right.
They would all become wealthy guys because they'd worked with me and they'd been part of the success. And so I couldn't really tell the shareholders that I could do any better than that. So if I couldn't do any better, I better just accept the £9.
Right, okay.
So it would have been a bold person to say, I can do better. You hang on and I'll get you more than £9.
That would have been the conversation. You'd have promised the shareholders the reason why you turned it down is they could earn more money by staying with you. Yeah, okay. And that was the top of the market as well before 2008, wasn't it?
It was the biggest deal ever got done.
Yeah, yeah.
Still the biggest deal.
How did that feel?
Well, a sense of accomplishment in one way, that we'd built a business that had gone from, when I started, it was worth £1 million in 1982, 1.2 million, to end up being 500 million. I mean, it was 29 million when we floated it in 1989.
Incredible.
So the growth was incredible. It was great. But was it the right thing to do? Looking back, yes, it was, because I'd reached my own ability. I couldn't manage 200 dealerships. So personally, I was very uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable at 100.
Okay.
Because I was responsible for 6,000 people, 6,000 families. And, if the market went down or we had a recession or anything like that, which did come, and I thought, we've done what we're asked to do. We took the opportunities that we were given. God blessed my journey immeasurably.
Yeah.
For somebody who had one O-level and managed to steer a team of people to that sort of success. And that, it was great. It was wonderful.
We are asking all of our inspirational leaders to give us some a one-liner or two-liners of advice that they would leave on our answer phone, the calling answer phone, for the leaders of Scotland.
You have reached the calling. Please leave a message for Scotland's leaders after the beep.
Say yes to opportunities. Because so many people are negative these days. No, I can't do that. And so I would like to see the yes, to look at every opportunity they get and explore it and see if it's for them.
Finally, will you be going to the calling event on October the 2nd?
Oh, I'm booked in. Yes.
I would hope you'd be there.
I have my advance ticket.
Good. VIP. No, thanks for sharing the story. Thanks for the encouragement for me and my walk of life. And thanks for the wise words you've shared with those listening today. It's been a real pleasure. So thanks for joining us today on The Calling Conversation, where we've explored purpose and leadership in the real world. If this episode inspired you, share it with a friend or colleague who might need that encouragement today. And remember to book your ticket for the Calling event in Glasgow on the 2nd of October. Until next time, keep listening to your calling, keep leading with love, and keep making a difference right where you are.